What would happen if you gave up sugar for just 14 days? It's a simple question, but one that carries enormous power. Sugar hides everywhere, in the drinks we sip, the snacks we crave, and even in foods we think are healthy. We've been trained to believe it's harmless, just another part of modern life. But the truth is, sugar is silently draining your energy, damaging your health, and keeping you from the body and mind you were meant to have. 14 days without sugar might sound like a challenge, but what you gain is far more valuable than what you give up. The first thing you'll notice is energy that no longer crashes. Without sugar pushing your blood glucose on a roller coaster, your body learns to burn fuel more steadily. The fatigue that used to hit you in the afternoon begins to disappear. At first, cravings will scream for attention, but each day they grow weaker, and soon you realize you no longer feel controlled by them. Your liver, weighed down by excess sugar turned into fat, starts to heal. Fat deposits slowly shrink, and your body begins to function the way it was designed. As blood sugar levels balance, you reduce the risk of insulin resistance, the silent road to diabetes. Inflammation begins to cool down, and the stiffness in your joints eases. You might wake up with less pain, and even the swelling in your body starts to calm. Your mind clears too. That fog that made it hard to focus or stay sharp begins to lift, and you feel more present, more alive. Look in the mirror after 2 weeks, and your skin often tells the story. Less redness, fewer breakouts, a healthier glow. Sleep becomes deeper, less interrupted, giving your body the chance to repair itself through the night. And then comes the weight loss, not from starving yourself, but from unlocking fat burning. With sugar out of the way, your body taps into stored fat for fuel. The pounds begin to shift, not in a desperate struggle, but as a natural result of balance being restored. 14 days may sound short, but it's long enough for your body to reset. It's long enough to prove that sugar is not your friend, and that your health, energy, and vitality are waiting on the other side of letting it go. When sugar is removed from the diet, one of the first noticeable changes is that energy levels begin to stabilize. Normally, when sugar is consumed, it causes blood glucose to spike quickly, giving a short burst of energy that feels good in the moment. But what follows is a crash, fatigue, irritability, and the urge to consume more sugar just to feel balanced again. This constant roller coaster of highs and lows leaves the body drained and dependent, always chasing the next quick fix. Once sugar is taken away, those rapid spikes and crashes begin to fade. The body learns to rely more on stable fuel sources, such as stored fat and steady nutrients from whole foods. Instead of surges of energy that collapse within hours, energy becomes consistent throughout the day. Morning fatigue lessens, afternoon slumps disappear, and even mental alertness feels more constant. The reason is simple: blood sugar is no longer dictating mood and energy swings. Insulin becomes more balanced, and the body no longer wastes effort trying to correct extremes. What's left is a calmer, more reliable flow of energy that supports productivity, focus, and endurance without constant cravings or crashes. When sugar is first removed from the diet, cravings often intensify, and the body almost panics, signaling that it wants its usual quick fix. This is the withdrawal phase, where irritability, mood swings, and strong desires for sweets or refined carbs can feel overwhelming. The brain, accustomed to constant dopamine hits from sugar, resists the sudden absence. But here's the encouraging truth: those cravings don't last forever. As the days progress, something remarkable happens. The body starts to adapt, and the grip of sugar weakens. Cravings that once felt irresistible begin to fade, and the urge to reach for something sweet becomes less frequent. By the end of the first week, many people notice that the intensity of their cravings has dropped significantly. And by the second week, they are often surprised by how little they even think about sugar. This shift occurs because the body learns to run on more stable energy sources, like fat and protein, instead of quick sugar spikes. The brain also begins to reset its reward system, no longer demanding sugar for comfort. What once felt like an uncontrollable habit becomes manageable, and freedom from cravings brings a new sense of control and empowerment. When sugar is removed from the diet, the liver finally gets a chance to rest and repair itself. Excess sugar, especially in the form of fructose, is processed in the liver, and when consumed in high amounts, it turns into fat. Over time, this leads to a condition often called fatty liver, where fat accumulates inside liver cells, slowing down its ability to function properly. This doesn't just affect digestion. It impacts hormones, metabolism, and even energy levels. But within days of cutting sugar, the liver begins to heal. The fat buildup starts to shrink, and the liver can focus again on its primary tasks, detoxifying the body, balancing blood sugar, and producing the substances needed for digestion. As this repair process continues, people often feel lighter, less bloated, and more energetic. The liver, being one of the body's most resilient organs, responds quickly when given relief from sugar overload. This repair also improves fat burning throughout the body. Instead of storing sugar as fat, the body learns to use stored fat as fuel. By the end of 2 weeks without sugar, the liver is already working more efficiently, setting the stage for lasting health and renewed vitality. When sugar is removed from the diet, one of the most immediate benefits is the stabilization of blood sugar levels. Normally, consuming sugary foods or drinks causes a rapid spike in glucose, followed by a crash as insulin rushes in to push that sugar into the cells. This constant cycle of spikes and drops not only leaves you tired and moody, but also trains the body to demand more sugar just to stay balanced. Over time, this roller coaster puts tremendous strain on insulin, and the body may become resistant to it, a condition known as insulin resistance, which is the doorway to type 2 diabetes. By cutting sugar, those violent fluctuations begin to smooth out. Instead of dramatic highs and lows, blood sugar stays more steady, and insulin is no longer forced to work overtime. The body becomes more sensitive to insulin again, meaning it can use glucose more effectively. This reduces stress on the pancreas and helps the entire metabolic system function more efficiently. The result is not just improved energy and mood, but also a significant lowering of long-term health risks. In just 2 weeks without sugar, you begin to reverse the dangerous trend toward insulin resistance and move closer to stable, lasting health. When sugar is removed from the diet, one of the most powerful internal changes is a noticeable reduction in inflammation. Sugar acts like fuel for inflammation in the body, triggering chemical reactions that irritate tissues and put the immune system on constant high alert. This chronic low-grade inflammation is often silent but can manifest as swollen joints, stiffness, bloating, or even skin flare-ups. Over time, it can also contribute to serious conditions like arthritis, heart disease, and autoimmune issues. Within days of cutting sugar, the body begins to calm down. The constant inflammatory signals start to quiet, and tissues that were irritated finally get a chance to heal. For many, this shows up as less joint pain in the morning, reduced swelling in the hands or feet, and a greater ease of movement throughout the day. Even headaches or muscle aches can lessen as inflammation decreases. This effect goes beyond comfort. It restores health at a cellular level. Reduced inflammation means the body can use its energy to repair and protect rather than constantly fight irritation. By the end of 2 weeks without sugar, many people notice not only lighter joints, but an overall sense of relief as hidden inflammation fades away. When sugar is removed from the diet, one of the most surprising changes is how quickly mental clarity improves. Excess sugar often causes spikes and crashes in blood glucose, and the brain, which depends on a steady supply of fuel, suffers the consequences. Those highs and lows can leave you feeling foggy, forgetful, and unable to concentrate. It's like trying to think clearly while constantly riding a roller coaster. You never get the steady focus your mind truly needs. As sugar intake stops, blood sugar stabilizes, and the brain begins to function more smoothly. Within days, many people report sharper focus, clearer thinking, and greater ability to concentrate on tasks without distraction. The constant haze of brain fog starts to lift, and energy that was once wasted on fighting sugar crashes is redirected toward mental performance. Beyond this, cutting sugar reduces inflammation in the brain, which is linked to memory problems and mood swings. Neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin also become more balanced, helping you feel more alert and emotionally steady. After 2 weeks without sugar, the difference is often dramatic. You feel mentally lighter, sharper, and far more in control of your thoughts and decisions. When sugar is removed from the diet, the skin often shows one of the most visible transformations. Sugar has a direct impact on the skin because it triggers insulin spikes that lead to increased oil production and inflammation. This combination creates the perfect environment for breakouts, acne, and redness. Over time, sugar also accelerates a process called glycation, where sugar molecules attach to collagen and elastin, breaking them down and leading to wrinkles, sagging, and dullness. In other words, sugar doesn't just affect how you feel, it directly affects how you look. Once sugar is eliminated, the skin begins to calm and repair itself. Insulin levels stabilize, which reduces excess oil production and helps prevent clogged pores. Inflammation decreases, so redness and puffiness fade. Collagen and elastin fibers are preserved, allowing the skin to appear firmer and healthier. For many people, within just 2 weeks, blemishes start to clear, and the overall tone of the skin looks brighter and more even. This improvement goes beyond appearance. It reflects what's happening inside. Reduced inflammation and balanced hormones allow the body to heal, and the skin becomes a mirror of that internal health. By the end of 14 days, it's common to see a more radiant, youthful glow. When sugar is removed from the diet, one of the benefits that often surprises people is how much better they sleep. Sugar disrupts the natural rhythm of the body by causing spikes and crashes in blood sugar. These fluctuations can lead to restless nights, frequent waking, or difficulty falling asleep. High sugar intake also increases stress hormones like cortisol, which keep the body alert when it should be winding down. The result is shallow, restless sleep that leaves you feeling tired even after hours in bed. After eliminating sugar, blood sugar becomes more stable, and the body can maintain a calmer state throughout the night. Cortisol levels begin to normalize, allowing the natural sleep hormone, melatonin, to work properly. As a result, it becomes easier to fall asleep and stay asleep. People often notice fewer midnight awakenings and more time spent in deep, restorative stages of sleep. Better sleep is not just about rest, it fuels every system of the body. Hormones rebalance, the immune system strengthens, and the brain processes memories and repairs itself more effectively. Within 2 weeks of avoiding sugar, many experience the difference of waking up refreshed, energized, and ready to face the day with clarity and focus. When sugar is removed from the diet, weight loss often becomes much easier because the body shifts from burning sugar for fuel to burning stored fat. Normally, when sugar and refined carbs are consumed, they quickly spike blood glucose. Insulin then rises to move that sugar into cells, but high insulin also signals the body to store fat instead of burning it. As long as sugar is present, fat burning is essentially switched off, making weight loss frustrating and slow no matter how much effort is put into exercise or calorie restriction. Without sugar, insulin levels begin to fall and stabilize. This change flips the body's internal switch back toward fat-burning mode. Instead of constantly storing, the body starts tapping into its fat reserves for energy. This not only